gentlemen, welcome to Harmontown. How do you feel tonight? Oh, my goodness. So good to see you all. Let's get right into it. We don't need a lot of fanfare. Wave your hands in the air. His name is Dan Harmon. And his friend's name, king of the game, Mr. Schrab.
Recall, and it's wasted on me.
At all.
What?
No Alzheimer's at all.
Sorry,
talking about your photographic recall.
Oh, but what about it?
Just saying you don't have no Alzheimer's at all.
Oh, I think I got that.
Means you can remember shit.
Time for me to turn into a squirrel. Damn, I'm a squirrel. Leaping from branch to branch, foreshadowing primates. Slowly, my eyes will move to the front of my head so I can have depth perception. And I'll get color vision so I can recognize ripe fruit. Okay. Oh, damn. Damn. My tail's going away. I'm climbing down from the tree. And I'm living in an alarmist community where we groom each other and pound our chests and look out for the spotted leopards. And if one comes, we go, ah, ah, and we all climb up in a tree. Damn.
Damn. Damn indeed.
Very good, Dan Harmon. You may live another day. So Pyramid Hand decrees it. Ah!
Oh God!
Ah!
Quick! While he's either blind or.
There's only one man who can save Pyramid Map. There's only one man who can save Pyramid Man, and that man's name is Jeff Davis.
Oh.
Hello,
Okay.
everybody.
Welcome back, Jeff.
Hello. Welcome back to me. Welcome back to you.
We're kind of playing with the show format here. I didn't want Brandon to go away. Jeff's back. Spencer's still gone. Thoughts and prayers. I will say, certainly, if he's going through anything, it's not affecting his work. I've seen four animatics of Harmon Quest. Very good season, probably best season ever. Looking forward to that. Maybe he's content to just focus on that.
And I'm here.
Yeah. Who needs Spencer? Who needs anybody?
We need Spencer.
I've been up all night, so I'll probably fall asleep tonight. But I've been working, and so I'm a little out of it.
What are you working on?
Screenplay that was due a million years ago, and just finishing it up. Just about finished.
This is for Aquaman 3, right?
It's in that area.
Dr. Stranger. Who knows?
I was thinking
Who's strange?
I was thinking about Green Arrow today.
Dr. Stranger. Is he
Green
called
Arrow.
Green Arrow because he's new at it?
Green Arrow.
Well, I'm not the best arrow guy here. You know, I'm still new. I'm a little.
Look here.
Little.
You gonna need to get your uniform before you start talking to management. You knew Green Arrow. It
right.
may be a different era, but you knew Green Arrow.
Green Lantern. I thought you were on my side.
Just because we green don't mean we are green.
Green Arrow and
Is this helping? Is this helping?
Yeah.
Is this helping?
Green Arrow and Green Lantern they were partnered up in a series of comic books that were critically acclaimed. I can't imagine why. I feel like maybe it was because people liked watching the Green Lantern feel awkward. Because it's like, dude, you just what is your origin story? You played Peter Pan in high school and hit your head? He just shoots dumb arrows. That's all he does. Perhaps my boxing glove arrow will punch this up a bit. Perhaps my screwdriver arrow will turn things around. Okay, none of that worked. Perhaps my exploding arrow will blow you up. Just use your exploding arrow every time, Green Arrow. Don't waste your time making all these arrows. What do you do? Like, just budget your time.
You're not getting them back. You're not getting them back.
Yeah, I mean, just once you.
You're not getting him back. You shoot him, and what's he gonna do? Is like, hey guys, wait a second before you jump into the car and drive back. I gotta go pick up my fucking arrows. Otherwise, I'm not equipped.
I'm not a comic book guy. Does he conjure them up, or does he actually fabricate them for the purpose?
He tinkers. He's like part tinkerer, part archer. I
Call him
believe.
that.
It's like he makes his arrows in a workshop.
Right.
Is anybody a Green Arrow aficionado? That
Like Batman with arrows.
right. So he is right. Is he a meta-human?
No. He's just
Oh, really? See, that's kind of interesting because how many other non-meta humans are there? Like, not a lot, right?
At least two. So does he have a Green Arrow car?
yes.
What is it called?
It's like the
Datsun.
Aeromobile or something. The Rick and Morty staff were kind of like very delicately vandalizing the Green Arrow Wikipedia one season. They kept adding like really because we're trying to see like how long can the shit just like seep into canon, because you really don't know. Like the shit gets ridiculous because like Green Arrow's been around forever. There was a run of Green Arrow where his sidekick Speedy had a heroin addiction. And like you wouldn't be able to tell like at a glance.
Why did Speedy have a heroin addiction?
Yeah. You think he
I would
would?
think he would have
think?
like a meth addiction.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's meta.
But there was this whole thing. I remember. So we went too far at one point, and we got busted. Like they
Did they come to your house and go,
Nah.
hey,
Some Green Arrow fan like expunged the whole thing, and it was like it was slowly building. There was like this whole like thing about this like really meticulous grievance between Green Arrow and someone else. Like that and part of it was he thought that. It started with the Green Arrow mobile and how he thought that this person had scratched it and wouldn't admit it. And then that was like threaded into like different like Infinite Crisis and whatever, and kind of like this like long-standing grudge with this other DC character that he was convinced had scratched his car. Yeah, I mean, essentially, Dan, you're telling me a story about something that was funny once. It's not really going to be funny again. I understand. I
here's-
haven't slept in a while.
Here. So you've been doing some DC research.
Yeah.
Research. I'm trying to push them together. But okay, so green.
Yeah, I learned all about Red
it's
Tornado today.
D-search.
DD.
D-search.
So Green Lantern's weakness is anything made out of yellow. Is that
Purple?
yellow?
I don't. Well,
Isn't that-
like it goes through different things, like the
Like yield
it
signs?
It used to be wood. He couldn't affect wood.
It doesn't affect mine.
So if you're like, so you could.
Hello.
But yeah, there's some stuff with the yellow.
Yeah.
But it's more about like the yellow lantern energy or something like that. Green Lantern is such a turn off to me. I can't. I think I like what the Lego DC stuff does with the Green Lantern powers because
Whatevs. You're not gonna get any smiles out of me.
I guess because it's kind of like for kids, and then it's like through the Lego filter, it's sort of like makes a character whose power is just to like make up random shit. Like they can contain it within these like translucent green blocks and whatever. But just that idea of like, oh, I'm gonna use my imagination to make a green baseball glove. I'm like, so dumb.
Isn't it cheating?
Kill yourself.
If you're I've never seen any of the Lego films, but the whole point of Lego is that it's stationary blocks of shit that you stick together, but then their mouths are moving and their faces are moving and they're doing all this shit that breaks the Lego rule, right? Yeah, they should be a little blocky, stiff, like
Well,
like
they are in the.
yeah, but their faces
First
are
one.
all fucking all over the joint, like
Well, it'd be kind of a boring movie if there wasn't lip sync.
Yes. So don't make it out of Lego. Make it out of anything else.
All right.
Make
They should have did that. They would have been famous.
Here's a pitch. The
should have done that.
Play-Doh movie.
Oh,
you
man.
can make whatever you want out of
How
Play-Doh.
about the Playmobil movie that's coming out?
How about have you seen the DC Universe's Lincoln Log movie coming out? It's all made out of logs.
I'd watch that, Dan.
Stupid.
All right, we're getting into bad
I remember a guy
territory
from
for me.
Hot Wheels or Mattel or something like that was like touring the studio, the animation studio, and they were like, "Yeah, if you guys can think of anything to do with Hot Wheels, that'd be cool." And it's tough because you can't just put like a face on the front of the car because Pixar did that. It's like the toy is like a car, but and there's no driver. And fuck. Yeah, it was like watching a guy realize Hot Wheels is a shitty property.
You don't. Here's something. You don't have to make a movie out of everything.
Yeah, well,
You don't. No
but,
one's gonna
but
go-
he's got to make a movie out of Hot Wheels, or he's fucking fired.
No, somebody's not gonna go. Okay, we
got one
just
job.
did zebras. All right, there's a movie for everything now. We can close up shop, Hollywood. There's a movie for everything.
I was just attached to the new Connect 4 movie. I play Blue.
Oh man, you are. It is so. Man, you're
We
making
did. We
fun
had
of
like a
it.
dalliance with the Play-Doh movie. The Play-Doh people wanted to. They got.
We made a joke of it on Community.
I know, and then we were talking to the Play-Doh people, and
Paul Feig's supposed to be directing it.
I was really excited about our
I love
idea.
your
but-
grumpy.
What?
I just love how grumpy. Paul Feig's supposed to be directing now.
Look, we are orbiting an issue of mine. So let's maybe change the subject, or I should stop
Wait, were you-
drinking
were you
because I'm going to
Rob-
upload a little bit.
Rob, were you passed over for the Play-Doh movie?
I don't want to talk about any of this anymore.
Not yet. We'll wait. We'll wait.
It's going to get me
At
into
9.
trouble. I'm starting to put my life back.
Keep
together.
drinking. We'll bring it back up at 9:30.
Thank
yeah.
you.
So Green Arrow. Yeah.
One fan.
Just use your exploding arrows. Actually, Green Arrow. I know if he were here, he would say, "Well, just use exploding arrows." Well, why don't I just buy a gun? Well, don't pull that
like a
thread,
cop?
Green Arrow.
Like a police officer?
Yeah.
Like a
Green
hired
gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep shooting.
No one
use
asked
only
you.
bullet arrows.
How about How about have the bow and arrow and have a gun
Just as a standby.
or
yeah.
a taser?
Or study philosophy, and just
Get out of the hero game.
Yeah, get out of it.
It's an ugly game.
Just be your best you.
And why are you wearing a fucking mask, man? You're walking around like Robin Hood with the beard. I mean, who does?
Yeah, no one cares who
wearing
you
a
are,
mask.
Green
They're
Arrow.
like, oh my gosh, who's this, Carl?
Why does Aquaman have a beard? I keep going to hotels. I'm on the road a lot, and
And there's always an Aquaman in my bedroom.
No.
Why is this happening to me?
Rob, you're not wrong there, because you turn the TV on, and what do you get? The first thing you fucking get, you turn your TV on.
Sexy men.
No, you get Mario Lopez. You get a Mario Lopez on there. Hey, everybody, I'm Mario Lopez. I'm here to talk to you about movies in your hotel room, like Aquaman. And they talk about Aquaman for 30 minutes. And why did a beard underwater doesn't seem functional? It
Well,
seems
it
like
worked for Poseidon.
Yeah,
yeah, but
Oh, now you're going to go, well, you're
I'm just saying, name a fast-moving aquatic animal that has hair.
A seal, an elephant seal.
Yeah, but very little. They don't have a giant.
They have a huge mustache like a walrus.
Yeah.
Whales have teeth that are very much like a hairbrush.
Yeah, but they're inside their mouth.
You asked us to name an animal.
All right. No, I know that there are mammals that have hair
He's
underwater.
not a fish man, is he? I don't know.
He's
Is
a
he
fish man.
He's the king of Atlantis.
He's the king of Atlantis. Give
I'm
him a
just
break. He
saying.
didn't want to shave.
But
They
he-
don't have razors
But
down
he does
there.
shave because he shaves the part of his hair around the Van Dyke goatee kind of thing. Like he clearly is like beardscaping around it. So he cares about like appearances.
Okay, you
Yeah,
want
I
to
don't
know?
think-
You want to know why? Terrible acne scars.
Oh,
Awful.
Oh
They're the
shit!
worst.
For
Yeah.
real? Okay.
Terrible acne
I
scars.
take it back, Mario
Yeah.
Lopez. Oh, you mean Aquaman?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It would be cool if he was just naked. Like,
Right.
if his gimmick, I think that would be the way to, after all these attempts to like, we got to find the angle on Aquaman, because obviously in the 70s it became this joke. Like that was we fell in love with this idea that there was a super friend that, given his roster of powers, like obviously the other heroes would probably make fun of him, and that kind of like stuck. And then they tried to like beef up Aquaman in the comic books to work against that, or to make him like dark and depressed and
They
alienated.
cut off his arm.
But I do think, now that I think of it, the way to do it would be to make him like a naked. That he would be like, let him be Jason Momoa, but then just have the running thing be like, he doesn't know what clothes are. He knows what they are. He's not stupid, but he's like, I'm not wearing
you know
those.
who could help him out with that? Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That sounds like a strange thing to do.
Do you think?
Hey.
Do you think that we're stuck with
Aquaman.
these dudes?
Hey, Aquaman. You know what would be strange? And this is what I do. I do this. You know what would be strange, Aquaman? I'm crossing. I can't do that, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Okay. I won't do it.
Both companies
What?
will be owned
You better
by
finish
Disney.
this.
DC and Marvel. Okay, Doctor Strange goes, hey, take off your clothes. That's strange. Now,
All
put
right.
him over here by mine.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Do you think that because of the time period that these characters were first created, we're stuck in those archetypes? Like, do you think that if this had been, it's a crazy, but let's say we started doing DC and Marvel even 15 years later, would we have built these superheroes different?
No, just cosmetically. I mean, to the extent that they have any kind of shelf life, one would hope that was because of an organic kind of thing that made us, we like certain characters because of archetypal behaviors, like relationships with their gadgets, not the actual design of the gadgets. Like if Tony Stark is sort of kind of and Batman, I think, are both kind of parallel in that both of them, people, if they like them, what they like is the idea that you're not exceptional, you're not gifted in any way, except maybe your intelligence or whatever, but you're not supernaturally gifted, and then you use your means and your will and your grit to like take a place among the gods, and you're even bossing them around and stuff, like you're Captain Kirk or something.
So the genre sort of pays attention to the time that it's in.
Yeah, yeah, I mean that stuff's easy to change along the way, unless people are like Peter Parker's white. But we're living in that time right now where we're like, oh, is it? Captain Marvel might have been a woman if that's among the many what I would call cosmetic things that should be now. If things like that aren't gonna be up for debate, then retire the whole library of all these characters because they were all white, they were all men, and yeah, like every once in a while we would go like Harlem Man is here, and it's like well, good for us, I guess, in 1971, but like just like acting like because Harlem Man exists. That Peter Parker can't become biracial in a reboot is like kind of dumb, right? Like because it's like that's asking us to like that's a disservice to the entire Marvel library, the DC library to go because it's just a fact, it's just a cultural fact that everybody in a comic book like looked a certain way back then, which is now not a definition of something that's like real life.
Because it seems like...
all men as Wonder Woman.
Say what? Sorry?
I said they're not all men as well.
Oh, yeah. I didn't mean to imply. I mean...
Are you just going to shit on Catwoman? My mama, Catwoman?
I mean,
Yeah, Black
Since McGee.
What's happening?
Oh, just please, because you sounded like you were... Hey, do you remember me? I'm Louise from Brisbane.
Oh, Louise from Brisbane.
Sydney, that goes to the Sydney Opera House.
Well, there were a lot of people there. It's a whole opera house.
Of all time, yeah, do you remember?
Is the mic picking this up at all, or?
Okay. Jeff,
Yes. Oh,
in Australia, at the Sydney Opera House,
correct.
you
Yes.
were giving shit to all Australians. You were saying, people from Ipswich are like this, people from Brisbane like this. I think you're all crazy. And I said, hey, you elected Trump. And
Right.
it brought the whole house down, and you did like a 180, and you walked back, and you came back, and then...
Is this fucking true, Jeff? You did?
Did you vote for Trump? You voted for Trump.
I am.
what's
Did
she
you
saying, true,
vote
Jeff?
for Trump?
I can't believe this. I cannot believe this, Jeff.
Are you telling me you interrupted a show and started like talking to people on stage?
No,
I don't believe you.
I remember you now because last time you were sitting audience right, stage left, and you came down and bummed everybody out from that side. Now you're doing it from that side. So sit your ass down because you were dragged the other time too. I do remember you now.
Are you sure she's the same one though?
Yes, yes, exactly.
The same
Because that was
one?
my thought too. Was like, oh my god, I'm having a fucking flashback.
You don't get to just charge the stage because you want to. You did it last time from over here at the Sydney Opera House, and you came down and you were shouted down by the crowd.
I was
one
not-
charge.
How do you charge?
Oh, no. There's two. Okay, you guys got to sit down.
All right,
that's
for
not
real.
I don't think that's the same person.
No, it's exactly her. I remember her vividly now. Thank
Okay.
you. You were just a voice in the darkness, but now I've seen you visibly. I mean, I appreciate your thoughts, and it's okay to pipe in, but you don't get to just like storm the Bastille like that.
Well, I don't appreciate your thoughts.
Thank you, Dan.
Because obviously, if I'm in the middle of addressing the issue of whether or not it's okay for Peter Parker to be biracial, and the way I express the backdrop of my point is to say that everybody in comic books was a white man in 1930, it's not helpful or accurate to bother to go, what about Wonder Woman? No, that's not the point. Of course I don't mean everything, all the time, absolute everything. I'm like painting with these strokes to make a point about the movement of these things. Like the idea that I forgot Wonder Woman while trying to move toward wokeness is infuriating.
No.
God, I fucking remember this so much. She was standing because it was a very raked theater, so there was very steep seating, and she came down over here and she did the exact same thing, but right there in my left eye, and now it's on my right eye, and I say.
It was so. I mean, my memory of it was that it was like very punctuated in Australia because they were much more like, they're probably like, they were just very quick to be like,
I was on stage.
No,
You
no,
don't
no,
have
no.
a microphone. You don't have a
No.
microphone.
For real, just like have security take that out. I fucking don't want.
It's you,
That's the cool thing
security?
because it seems as though it seems like these comic books and these universes are like music in that you're allowed to reinterpret them if you do a good job, right? So if you do like a remix of a very classic song, it seems like people are psyched about that. Is that the same with like superhero movies? We can make Superman have a different trait now.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, that's it's like okay, so I mean, people have a shit hemorrhage if you like fuck with like Superman's canonical list of abilities, right? So
Right.
if you make him like not bulletproof just because that'll be more fun, I think that's fucked up. If that's what you're saying.
I just don't. He always had heat vision, and he's always had the ability to blow cold.
But you know, in the very beginning, I don't think he could actually just fly. That's sort of
Okay.
like how Homer Simpson starts to look like more like the Homer Simpson we know from the Tracy Ullman show. Like characters that could fly often start as characters that can leap tall buildings, and like then the leaping just kind of turns into flying over time. But I think that for my money, the way to modernize Superman is to start from is not to worry about like whether or not he can do this or can do that. Start from the point of assumption that he can do everything, and then ask yourself, in a modern context, what does that mean to us? Like how would we react to that person, and how would he react to being perceived that way, and what would his goals be? My thing with Superman is like who cares about kryptonite when in fact he has like this much more crippling weakness, which is that he doesn't want to be a bad person. Like that's way more fucked up than kryptonite. Like he if the police tell him to get down on his knees and put his hands behind his head, he technically has to. Yeah. I mean, unless he wants to be a criminal that day, or like he's privileged in the sense that the cops probably won't say it because they don't want to die, but he probably won't kill him. So like those are fun stories where it's like, oh, Superman's he's a criminal because he's like questioning this congressman or whatever. But like it seems to me like that's the way to go.
Did you ever read J.J. Abrams' Superman script, Flyby? Did you ever read it? Mm-mm. It was he didn't use kryptonite either. But what he did was he said Superman didn't need kryptonite because he was raised by humans, and his mother and his adopted mother and father were saying, don't run as fast as you can. Don't show people how strong you really are. Always do less than don't reach your potential, because if you ever do, they'll take you away from us, or they'll dissect you, or you'll be a monster.
Yeah.
Which
is growing up in the Midwest.
Yeah, exactly. But that was very interesting because
sublimate your powers.
it was about a Superman who was like, I don't know how fast I really can go. I might be able to go faster than anything ever. I might be able to
bullet.
lift anything. He has no idea. So that I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, and also psychologically, if you had let's say you had an inborn sense of morality, although it's a dangerous concept. Like the idea of like, let's say you came from a different species, and let's say somehow that species through either genetic or mimetic evolution was like had kind of like a benchmark morality to them, where like you start from a baseline of like, yeah, don't be a piece of shit, like, and then you're transplanted to a savage planet where you're then raised by parents who are telling you, yeah, you're special, but be careful, don't flash those powers because they'll take you away. So you're motivated by not being taken away, and then on top of that, you're also being reinforced the whole time with this, like, you'll never be tempted, unlike a sort of wish fulfillment thing where you're like, well, wait a minute, if I did use these powers and stopped giving a shit what everyone else thinks, I could be rich or I could be successful. But there's a loop there possibly with Superman where he doesn't want to be rich or a rock star or successful. He only wants the one thing, which is actually quite difficult for him to achieve, which is a sense of belonging. He doesn't, because he knows he's essentially deformed. He's like, he can't, if he's not careful, he could karate chop your head off while he's like passing the salt. And so he's like embarrassed about that, is even though we would go, well, there's nothing to be embarrassed about because you should just use that to like either rob banks or stop people from robbing banks. But
See, I would love to see that as him at high school, and he says, are you gonna eat those Doritos and accidentally knock somebody's heads off? And then he just like moves away. He just like
moves.
I guess I gotta go to a different high school again because I can't explain what's going on. I'm just like, hey, how you doing? Yes, I'm the new student Smart Schment, and I'm going to be...
Schmark Schment.
Smart Schment.
Yeah.
Is this helping?
Yeah.
I like that his powers make him a loser, not super.
Yeah.
It's kind of an interesting take.
Yeah, so he's the opposite of Kung Fu. He just kills people by accident.
Yeah.
By accident,
Whoops.
and has to leave town every episode.
Oh, God damn it. It's always like there's always some kind of thing that he takes care of, and then he's like, well, it's great. A handshake. Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay. Gotta move again. Gotta go.
Did you get your results of that Briggs-Meyer test? Did you get your results?
He's a
from that?
mediator.
You're a mediator,
Yeah,
right?
you were
okay.
there when I did it.
Well, I forgot your results. Okay.
I
remember
don't
you
think
getting
that was a fair test.
I thought you answered the questions very accurately, but I didn't think that the results kind of like encapsulated you.
I felt like I was affected by everybody at the table,
No, I was sitting there very passively.
I know, but I'm just my own.
You mean everybody else?
I meant everybody but you.
Yes, thank you.
Where were you guys when you conducted the test?
Beelman's Bar.
Okay.
And Dan, you want to explain what we're talking about to everybody else in the room?
Is it Briggs-Meyer or Myers-Briggs? Myers-Briggs. I think all the kids know about it now. I think they kind of like some people they'll put their signifiers on their dating profile, which I thought about that and I was like, yeah. I thought I went through a cycle. I was like, well, I would love to know yours before a blind date with you because not to like stack the deck, but to actually just be like, oh, why? You could actually the equivalent of like a failed first date could be actually created by reading for 20 minutes, like kind of like, oh, this is a different personality. This person actually blah blah blahs, and that maybe then if you were down with that, then you could show up to the first date more prepared to have it not be a disaster because you'd be like, well, I already know that that there's such a thing as a person in the world that, believe it or not, isn't that interested in this or that or whatever. But then I thought about it more and I was like, I don't know. I think there's too many dishonest people in the world. So like who wants, like, I think what's most valuable is maybe doing your own thing and knowing who you are, but then putting it out on a satellite dish for other people. It's just like, I think it also, there's like crazy people that would like, they'd take the test and they'd go, I'm a thingamabob, and then they'd be so into it that they would like, fuck those people.
Dan, you took the test?
Yeah.
And what was the result?
I am an IN. Wait.
I thought we did yours, and you're the butt master.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
the butt,
yeah.
I'm the butt
yeah,
master.
Yeah, that's it. You're the butt master.
Well, I remember I'm a logician. I can't. I think it's like IN. TP? Is that? Yeah.
What is that? What?
Introvert, narcissist,
Poopy pants.
toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
You're an introverted, narcissistic toilet paper.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say, for my
That's
money,
the butt master.
because I remember when I remember getting a link to take it years ago. I remember taking it, and I remember getting same result, the logician. And I looked at it a little bit, and I was busy at the time, and I was like, sounds like me, but whatever, sort of horoscopes by. And then Cody sent me a link a couple weeks ago, and I did it again, and that's why I remembered, because I was like, this sounds familiar. I got the same thing. And then on top of that, when she told me what hers was, that's when I momentarily was like, oh, wait a minute. This is like horoscopes, because I also remember the campaigner. Why do I remember that so vividly? But it turns out the reason I do is because she also took it years ago and got that same result. So both Cody and I have taken it twice, several years apart, and gotten the same personality category by taking the test.
What does yours mean? What is it? Logicians? What is it?
Logician.
Logician.
Logical.
Lazy magician.
You're a lazy
that's
magician.
It's just logical.
I'm
Ta-da.
gonna leave a rabbit in my hat.
We might get her out of this water, or we'll just come back and see if she swims.
I'm gonna saw a lady 1/3 the way through.
Pick a card. Tell me what card it is. Oh, look, you're a magician.
Yeah.
It's very accurate. I can't remember most of it. I just remember going, "Wow, that's me." I mean,
So you're You're logical. That's it.
Well, it's not that simple. I mean, it's not. It's more like a value placed on the idea of logic, which can like make for a very emotional person. I think logicians are actually given to tantrums a little bit more because they don't know how to handle their actual feelings, because they actually do believe and practice the idea that there is such a thing as truth, and that truth is more important than everything else. And that, but also like very. I was happy to see. I was like, yeah, I've always felt that way about myself. That I'm, like that like in spite of this very like meritocracy kind of mind, which you now we've come to associate with this sort of like kind of creepy archetype online. Like you just don't even want to hear that word right now. But within that, the idea of like being truly open to, like you don't care about hierarchy. You really would prefer things to be on a flat plane, and so that you could just be extraordinary at your own thing, and everybody else could too, and kind of like that the truth would out and everybody would improve themselves and stuff. And then along the way, some like very like like things, the downsides that are typical are like, okay, this is not a person that is like always thinking about your feelings when they're talking, because they're trying to get their thoughts straight. They're very comfortable going off half-cocked. They'll figure it out as they're talking, and like they love explaining, and they want to create a system and stuff, and they believe the universe is a system, and there's something to figure out. And then creatively, for that reason, like endless revisions and never-ending like not finishing of projects and stuff, which was kind of a bummer. I mean, how do you feel when you, just in general, when you the idea of like, oh, there's 16 personalities, here's yours. I think the effect on me was sort of like a simultaneous kick in the nuts and lifting up. So not contradictory, just kicked in the nuts so hard that you're lifted up. A teeter-totter. Because it's like, on one hand, you are what you are, and it's kind of, because I think everybody wants to be special for the purpose of contributing. Everybody wants to be special so that they can fit in.
Isn't that crazy? People really do want a job.
What about
Someone said, what about Wonder Woman?
what about?
I love it.
I did forget
that
her.
felt so spiteful that everybody laughed at him saying Wonder Woman so much more than her back there. They were just like, Wonder Woman.
Let that be a lesson. Yeah,
That's
pick
how
your
you're-
moment.
That's the funny way of doing it.
Right. Don't stand up and walk up to the stage.
But it is an interesting concept, right? That like you get the Woody from Toy Story kind of thing of like, that idea of finding out that you're unremarkable in a certain sense, that there are others of you, that you're a category.
Don't look at me, man.
It can be it can be. I think what we see, we see that's what the internet has given us is like the idea of no matter how fringe you are, there's always going to be at least 500 other people out there somewhere, and now you don't have to get in a plane to find them. That's uplifting always. Like, oh, who else here? I just watched the Flat Earth documentary. Have you guys watched it?
I started watching it, but I didn't get it all the way through.
It's a little less heartbreaking and shitty than you might think it is, because I know that like basically probably all flat earthers. I remember on this podcast I would always be like, flat earthers are basically heroes, right? Because how could you commit to that and then like everything else, the election changed everything, because it was just sort of like, oh, this is just another expression of anti-intellectual revolution, and like I'm not charmed by it anymore. But it's worth watching. It's a charming documentary. There's some uplifting parts to it too that do feel like actually actionable items on especially for people who look the scientific community, kind of like the idea that maybe it's important to that it's not scientific to ridicule people. It accomplishes nothing. If your scientific goal is for people to value science, and you know that you live in a world where, for whatever reason, there are people who are pushed so far away that they're in a dark, dirty corner making up their own science, that you got to know scientifically that you're never going to bring them back by laughing at them. Not that they're not funny, and it's but if that's your goal, if it's your goal to bring them back, then you got to know as a scientist that the way to bring them back is you're going to have to go way more than what's fair in their direction. Like, they're not going to meet you halfway. As one of them, there's a guy that's interviewed in it who's Spiros something. He's a physicist at Caltech that I recognized him because I was on a panel with him at a Rick and Morty kind of science panel.
Science panel?
I know, yeah. But he was he had such a cool, like so many cool things to say. A lot of the scientists in the documentary have it's like oh, there's this evolution that's being forced upon us, where it's like, hey man, like, okay, so now we've got this other danger. There's going to be people that are going to be so like, Revenge of the Nerds happened, it's over. The nerds are in control now. There's like people gathering in little clusters who are suffering from confirmation bias and whatever it's called, Kepler, Alan Parsons Project disorder, whatever that
Dunning-Kruger.
Dunning-Kruger effect.
Bachman Turner overdrive.
And the documentary does a really good humanizing job of illustrating that absolutely perfectly, like showing their little meats and like editing it in such ways where you just everything kind of becomes really clear and humanizes everybody. And there's scientific communities where it's like the woke version of being a scientist now is like they're is talking to each other, scientists that are qualified, that know everything, talking to each other and saying, what are we going to do about these guys? They're not going away. They're not enchanted by us. They're waiting for everyone to get so into fucking logic that they flock to us. It's
I love,
not
like,
working.
On Twitter, Professor Bryan Cox, he'll engage with some flat earthers once in a while, and it's hilarious because he just shows them images and shows them like and it gives them reason, but they only see that reason and that logic as proof.
Yeah.
That there's something to fight against.
There's a really great sequence in this documentary where they one of the scientifically minded people is explaining the difference between this point A to point B scientific process, where as much as none of us want to be wrong, if you're a true scientist, you're like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and kind of moving forward to whatever conclusion is actually there. And then him breaking down the very common reverse of that process, where you've decided what your conclusion is and how you kind of weed things out and backwards paint this arrow from B to A. And while he's explaining that, you're they're editing it with a conversation with a wonderful, charming human guy that I don't want to see suffer. It was explaining that they're so into flat Earth that they bought a $20,000 gyroscope. They raised the money because they knew that if the Earth really was round, that you should be able to get a gyroscope that would register a 15 degree per hour shift in the tilt or whatever. And those things are really expensive, so they raised the money and they get this $20,000 gyroscope in the mail and they open it up. And as soon as they open it up, they turn it on and it's registering a 15 degree an hour shift. And then they start putting it in different containers made of different things to shield it from the glass dome above us. And so he's explaining that process, which is an adventure to him, an adventure that starts with like I know what windmill is what, but they're editing it back and forth with someone explaining this is how this works. Like you know that the Earth is flat, so now getting this gyroscope is just. It's like the Joker escaping from Arkham. It's like a job to do. You've got to figure out how to defeat him, and so they're trying to figure out. And that reminds them of experimentation and science, and it's because it looks the same thing. But what you're doing is like that guy is like he's at these meetups, and he's having these like private conversations over in the corner of the bonfire party, and he's kind of explaining to somebody like, "Yeah, it's I'm not gonna bring up the gyroscope this year at Flat Earth Con. It's a big
kind of a bugbear.
Yeah.
We're
gonna do some more experiments, and
I brought it up before. I won't repeat it, but like I had a Lyft driver, and he was a flat earther, and I asked him 20 questions. He gave me 20 answers that he had ready to go.
What were all of them? Number one. Here's the number one.
The top 5 flat Earth.
Starting with number 20, going to number 1. Number 20 coming in.
We've done this before, but like
not all 20 of them. Here we go. 20 questions and answers about flat Earth.
He was an intelligent guy, but I was like,
number 20.
You're using navigation right now on your phone to get me from Meltdown to the drawing room.
Flat screen.
Flat screen. He had
Flat screen.
Number 19.
One of the more fascinating things is, of course, as you might expect, the division. Like you have a solidarity, but then the divisions, the infinite plane people from the pheasant under glass people. I don't know how they differentiate, but like there's like. As soon as you become a prominent flat earther and you have a podcast that like people follow, now you're a dispenser of information, which by virtue of the same kind of oppositional defiant like engine that's powering the religion of the group. And I would say if you're a woman and if you're reasonably attractive, like this one woman is in this thing, like she's easy on the eyes, and she has like a Skype podcast with this other guy who's like, who literally lives in his mom's basement, but you don't really like hate these people. You're just sort of like, oh, you guys are cute, and because they're good natured. I mean, they just happen to think the Earth is flat, and they're truly dedicated to it. But the crazy thing is, like, then the brief dip they take into the dark forest of, okay, here's what it's like to be a woman and be a flat earther, because immediately. The last 3 letters of her first name are CIA because she's Patricia. So I mean, she's just asking for it. Her last name is Steer, so she's clearly a honeypot that's been sent to seduce flat earthers and steer them the wrong way toward the NASA governed thing. Like everybody's a robot and everybody's.
What's the first day of conspiracy factory office or whatever? Like, okay. All right, what's your name? We got to change that. We got to what we gonna do? I'm thinking Steer because you're going to be Steer. Like, why would you do all?
That's
of
always
that?
That's such an important linchpin to conspiracy theory universe is that the Illuminati love bragging, because if they didn't love bragging, so much of this shit wouldn't make sense at the end of the day. You're like, why would they put the ghost in Tom Selleck's living room in 3 Men and a Baby? Because they're trying to tell us. They want us to know. Why would they let this copy of Back to the Future get out if it's crawling with 9/11 predictions?
This movie is crawling
Because the whole
with
point is
9/11.
to do 9/11 right in front of you. It makes the
Before
9 and
it
the 11
happened.
so delicious that you knew about it. It's like when you soak a tortilla chip in the salsa.
If I'm repeating a thing from previous podcasts, then fuck it. But Rob, I told the driver, I go, okay, because I said, but why do we see eclipses as a circle on the moon? Like because we're all it's just flat discs that are casting shadows and things. As I said, but like every time, why is it a curve in this? And he had an answer it was a bullshit answer, but he had an answer. And I said, let's say you and I stood 100 miles apart on the equator and walked due north. I'm saying that at one point, you and I would meet each other because we live on a sphere. And he goes, no, we would keep walking straight. I go, and then what would happen at the end? He goes, I said, would we fall off? And he goes, no, because there's a ridge at the end and you can't fall off. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's ice. It's a
I was
wall
like-
of ice
I said,
around
that's dumb. And I said, I said, oh, you're a moron. And I laughed. He goes, I said, no, I'm sorry, you're not a moron. I go, but seriously, what do you think would happen? He goes, I said, I'm going to fly you and me. We're going to be 100 miles apart on the equator and walk north. He goes, if you pay for it, I'll do it.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you. And now he's in Barbados having the fucking time of his life.
What would it take for you
I
to
guess you're right.
believe in the round Earth? Chicken
Margaritaville,
cacciatore.
man.
If you like pina coladas.
I guess you're right, man. Let's do it again next summer.
Some of these guys.
Thanks for the hotel.
Some of them
You bought me a hotel.
like the gyroscope guy, and then they have another experiment that they're doing in it throughout the movie where they're like, look, we're so convinced, and they come up with a scientific idea. We're going to take 3 beams. We're going to put them, they found a place where, okay, we got 3.8 miles of space to play with here. We're going to put 3 beams equidistant from each other along this 3.8 mile stretch. 3.8 miles will equate to a certain amount of a curvature within that
A certain
space.
degree of curve, yeah.
But they're going to prove that curvature doesn't exist by taking a laser and shining it through, 3 holes on these things. And if the middle one they ain't going through, the Earth ain't flat. And so, and then they cut to like a scientist like hearing about that. Like they just described the thing, and he's like, "Okay, well, okay, all right, yeah, they're fucked." Like he's kind of like, "Yeah, no, actually, it sounds like they're in trouble. Like if that's a real experiment that you can do. They're going to prove that the Earth is round accidentally, and they're going to be bummed out. And I won't spoil it, but it is kind of interesting.
Spoilers: the Earth is round.
It's kind of like not entirely there's like so many different camps and like even just sort of culturally, and that can't. It's not as much as I thought it would be, where it's just like, I'm going to sharpen my Bowie knife and blame the Jews for everything, and it makes me feel empowered to do the scientific equivalent of saying, I don't know that. You don't know that. I didn't do, And it's like, there's a lot more joy, and for some of the people who are like the engineers, they're out there doing these Boy Scout experiments. But the only thing about it is that they're not gonna take no for an answer. They're gonna there's a very interesting analysis of that concept too, like where it's like, what would you actually do? Because these guys, they have award shows. They give each other awards. They're experiencing joy. They're experiencing.
I wish a cult would take me. That's the joy, is you see these groups together. Like if you not that Comic-Con is similar, but it is similar in that you will see people together that you would never see together, and it's a great thing. So like I hear you on like you don't want to wake them up.
Yeah. But then the documentary does take responsibility with some minor piano chords at a certain point when it touches on like these people have children, and that's not funny. It's not fun. It's like it's cute. You get caught up in like this is cute, and then it's like the children, like
It's like an American movie with what's his name, Borchert or
yeah. Well, yeah. I did think of that in my head. I was thinking about that.
Like, oh, this is awesome. This guy just wants to make movies. Then second act or third act. Oh, he has 3 children.
I think there's like 9 or something. I was like, yeah. All right, moving on. Boy, we got so much to cover.
All right, let's start. Let's
Okay,
Okay,
so-
let's- part 2 of Harmontown.
I've already talked about this.
Here we go. Part 2
I've
of
already talked about it.
Harmontown. After a commercial break, we're going to go back. Dan's going to blow your mind with the second half.
I've already talked about this. Last week I talked about Wrong Place, Wrong Time. This is another true crime linguistic thing I would like to alter if I
that
could.
irritates you. You don't like it. You don't like it.
Welcome to the part of the podcast we call "Get Off My Lawn" words.
Words.
Get off my. That's your new mug, Rob. Get off my lawn. Words.
Get off my lawn, words. Get off my lawn, words. Get off my lawn, words. Everybody get off my lawn. All you words. All you words. Get off my lawn. Off my lawn, words. Dan, wait. Dan doesn't like something. Let's everybody listen up.
I didn't deserve that at all.
No. Go ahead.
That's like if I was. That's like if I was
Let's go.
backing a truck of chicken out of a restaurant and stopped for a marathon of bicyclists, and the last one kicked my truck. I fucking waited, and I got chicken to move. You guys are just dicking around trying to act Italian.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That
That is the
wasn't.
shittiest British accent
I'm sorry.
that he thinks it's Italian.
Sorry, Dan. Dan, I'm sorry I've made fun of you. Get off my lawn, words. Get off my lawn.
I'm going to do this for at least 30 more times, by the way. All right, Dan, what's on your mind?
Look, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think that when we're dealing with children's undergarments in true crime shows,
Okay.
they can all be underwear. I don't understand why a 3-year-old missing girl, if you find her underwear, why do we have to call them panties? I understand, like, I'm not saying if you're a parent and you call your toddler's underwear, if there's a girl, like if you feminize the underwear, that's fine. I just, the forensic thing where it's like, and then we took the panties and we looked for semen. I'm like, I just like, why do they have to, they can just be underwear. That's not going to be an inaccurate way to describe them. It's not going to, no one's going to go like, what? Did she have a dick? Like, they're still underwear. Panties is just a kind of substrate of underwear that we use when we want to feminize undergarments.
I hope at this point we cut to me and Spencer doing a MeUndies ad.
But it's just like, remember the John Bonet special and like God love him, Henry Lee, like the rock star.
Special.
But he was just like,
There
with
was
his-
a John Bonet
his thick
special.
accent, and he's just like, oh, it took Penty and the Penty and the semen stain. Oh, there's so much semen on the Penty, and I was just like, God.
The special?
Yeah,
It was
it
a
was like a-
special? Like they did the rainbow special and then like
Yeah, the Solid Gold Dancers came out. It was.
It wasn't a series, and it wasn't a movie. What do you fucking want from me?
it was not special.
What is it if it's not a series or a movie?
Get off my lawn, Wes. Get off my lawn.
Oi!
I don't want to hear the word panties anymore. unless you're over a certain age, like you, I don't want to. I don't. You know, we found their panties. I don't like it.
Panties is a weird word just to begin with. Panties. They're like
They can retire that shit.
yeah. You also you know what? With cookies. Like everything,
Moist.
Everything's cooked, but we only one thing is a cookie. They should be called bakies. If I make an omelet, that's a cookie too.
Yeah.
I cooked my omelet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that?
I'm on board.
Yeah.
Rob, what do you think about that?
Get off my lawn, wait. Get off my lawn, wait.
That's insane. Where did Cookie come from? That had to be
It's
just
so
like.
stupid. Yeah, in England, the UK, they call them biscuits. We call them cookies. That seems fucking way too sweeping for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to.
You never cook a cookie.
You bake a cookie.
You
bake a
bake a
cookie.
cookie.
Call
You
them
bake a
babies.
cookie.
You
Like and
bake
there's
a
no way
cookie.
that the cookie technology is so old that like it's like we fucked up.
Do you pop a sickle? No.
What's up, Seinfeld?
What's wrong with people?
Who has ever popped a sickle?
No one's ever popped a sickle.
Why do they call them sweaters?
There's no ice in ice cream.
More.
There's a little bit of ice.
Yeah, because panties is like.
You said there's no ice. You said there's absolutely no ice. It's not true.
What?
Remember me?
Sit down. Sit down.
By Jove, I think she's got it. I think she's got it.
I'm dedicated to accuracy.
I'm a good girl, I am.
I won't tolerate Michigas.
Anybody know how this Captain Marvel movie did this weekend? Anybody here?
On
Anybody
its way to
follow?
make $1 billion, the consistent thing
God.
right now in March, which is Support Your Women's Month.
Yeah.
It's good because they just released this thing that said now, statistically, women's movies make more than men's movies. So let's make more women's movies and get that sweet, sweet paper.
All right.
I agree.
Because then we can make more
It does
dick
seem like
movies.
an end run because, like, the tradition, the old '80s tradition, is like, oh, the ladies' movie, flowers of forgotten love, and then you're like,
That's a good
like
one.
the chauvinist male is like, oh god, a chick flick or whatever, but it's like. There's so much steam behind the idea that if Captain Marvel's a woman and we're making progress, it's like the guys could just, if they could just calm the fuck down and sit back, what they're getting on a silver platter is like they're doubling their control over their hegemony, because like now their girlfriend's gonna be like, I want to go see Wonder Woman, and it's like, well, thank God there's fucking lasers in it.
Right.
Like
It's
don't
a
don't
win-win.
like take your fucking blessings, whatever the expression is.
If you might
Take your gift horse's teeth and put them in a cup, and get the hell out of that tooth bank.
Tooth bank.
Sorry, what were you saying, Brandon?
That was it. I was saying Tooth Bank.
And when's the Harlem Man movie coming out?
What Harlem Man?
Harlem Man
What is
movie.
what is Harlem Man's origin story, Dan?
He
He was bit by
He was in a tenement
radioactive-
building, and his mama sent him down to the furnace
Okay.
room, the boiler
Yes.
room. But there were drug dealers down there that were using the boiler to hide contraband. But what they didn't know is that the contraband was actually like a new designer drug that was using LexCorp funded like microwave radiation, and it made the boiler blow up, giving him the power to speak the truth.
So you're just gonna rip off the Jackson 5? Same premise.
Same
Exact
premise.
same premise.
Exact
All five of
same
them?
premise.
All five of it.
All five.
All
of them.
five just
No,
went down to the boiler room together?
When they went down there was only one of them.
Oh, that's their power.
Yeah.
to speak the truth. It's like they blossomed out into like an array of Jacksons.
They're like Voltron. Like
Right.
Jermaine's like the arm, and fucking like Tito's the leg, and fucking
Tito is the leftovers.
Come on, hey man, give Tito a break, man.
What happened to Rockwell?
Man, I feel like there's these times in life where you make just enough money and you're like, all right. I feel like that dude, he was Barry Gordy's kid.
I
He
feel
was
like-
already kind of rich.
Oh, really?
Made that song.
I
just
feel
so
like
he
he
could
made
get.
What was
$3,000.
Rockwell's big hit?
I always
Rockwell.
feel like somebody's watching me.
But it's like, but the lyrics are like, it's Rockwell, who's Michael Jackson's cousin, is just going like, "Hey, it's me, Rockwell, and I took a shower, and I got kind of scared that someone was gonna stab me." And then it's like Michael Jackson comes in for like, "I always feel like," and it's like oh, that's Michael Jackson. It's like his.
That's cheating.
It's cheating.
Cheating.
It's absolutely cheating. It's like
That's cheating.
it's like the way Phil Collins will use Sting sometimes. Like,
But you know what? I just watched Purple Rain again, and what's his name? Morris Day. That's his movie. He steals that fucking movie for me. Prince is not a great actor. He's a great performer, but he's a shit actor. Like in the same way that David Bowie is not a great actor, but he's a great performer.
Yes.
But fucking Morris Day, he's good in that movie.
I mean, I'm Team Prince in that movie, and it polarizes you. You do have to pick a side.
I'm just saying.
gotta
it's
pick
the
a
movie
that
demands you pick a side.
Right.
No, it does. It fucking absolutely does.
It does.
Didn't Morris Day and the Times like break up just before that movie came out? Like,
No, I felt like they were together for a little while because the Ice Cream album,
Ice Cream
Castles,
Yeah.
is right
You
after that shit.
are young.
Nicely done.
You are free. Let's be
together.
together. Interracially.
Yeah. You are white.
Vanilla.
I like that-
Chocolate.
I like that move that-
I just came up with this.
The fucking bird.
The
is
bird
one of
fucking
them.
rocks.
And then he did the oak tree
And then the oak tree was
because
that
he was
move.
like, give
Was
that bird a place
sideways
to
kick.
land.
Then he did
But he was all about the cashmere
Yeah.
then he did the end table.
or camel hair. What was it? It was like.
He was like, he had the white fucking coat on, but he was it's crazy because it's two hair bands basically going at each other in Minnesota, and there's a rivalry, and he's a bad
But
guy.
I like they all go to
Which
each
is
other.
crazy.
They go to each other's shows and they all stand in the back like
Yeah.
motherfucker. Like it's like.
Look at this motherfucker's eye makeup.
But then Prince blows everybody's mind when he goes.
Yeah. He licks his. I love that he licks his hand first. Like, oh, I've got to clean myself.
Yeah, he's like a little.
They
Like
bring the
kitty cat.
mirror out. That's
Yeah.
shit's awesome.
Greatest job in all of music is to hold a mirror
Yeah.
for Morris Day.
You know the best part of that is that Purple Rain. What album is Take Me With You on? Is that
It's Purple Rain.
so? Best part of that song. To be around you, oh, so that your sheer perfection, and then thank you. That's such a great.
Yeah.
It's just you don't get that kind of reciprocity. Like it's just healthy. It's self-care. It's like the therapist was wandering through the studio that day. It was like, keep that in. She they're like, oh, we were gonna cut it. She's not supposed to say thank you. She just you know why she said it. She felt complimented. Keep it in.
The same therapist told James Brown it's okay to want to kiss yourself.
Jump back first. though. Don't hurt yourself.
Jump back,
Kiss
yourself.
Okay, well, I don't know why I keep looking at my notes. I got panties and Briggs Meyer test. I didn't even write down panties. I knew I was going to remember that.
It's a weird word.
You just hear it all the time.
Yeah, it's not
Panties.
good.
They're
not pants.
I found a new True Crime podcast, but I'm like hesitant
Lobster. That's a strange one. Continue. Get off my lobster.
What's your beef with lobster, Rob?
Well, it's two words. together, and it doesn't describe
It's just
what it is.
It's just 2 syllables together.
It's not 2 words.
Lob,
I mean, lob and stir.
Stir is
Right.
not a
It's
word.
not
It kind of is a foreboding thing, but they're going to be lobbed into water and then stirred into their doom.
okay, then it
It
works.
could be a mnemonic device.
Then I love it.
Yeah. How do you feel about hamster?
I love that too.
You like hamster?
Sure.
Hey, what the fuck is a gerbil?
If not a
Is there a
small-
wild gerbil? Do gerbils exist in the wild?
He was the Hitler's propaganda minister, I think.
Are there gerbils and hamsters in the
Joseph
wild, or
Gerbil.
are they just like
Ghost of gerbils.
What about guinea pigs?
Huh?
They're not pigs. Are they from Guinea?
Just the greatest part is that he is staring at you and you refuse to look. Is the greatest.
That's 90%.
It is the greatest fucking thing. It's what. It's what black. It's what black kids.
Oh no! Oh no! Exterminate! Exterminate!
Get back.
Rob has
get
weaponized,
back.
weaponized his desk.
Gerbils are really mean hamsters that don't do tricks. Whereas a hamster can like fill its side pouches with food. A gerbil is like a domesticated rat.
Wow.
My mom was a daycare center teacher, and
For gerbils?
yeah, for gerbils. Fucking so much money. You know what I mean?
Oh man, so much fucking money, man.
So much fucking money,
So much
gerbil
fucking
money.
money.
Making that dribble money.
So we would get.
Wasn't that the love interest in issue 3 of Harlem Man? Was the daycare center teacher, the underpaid, like
I told you can't come here till the students are gone.
I just wanted to warn you that Lex Luthor's up to no good again.
I wish he was doing something like helping these kids.
Girl.
I have so much on my mind. I can't help nobody right now.
Girl, that's your job, to take care of the children while I fly into the sky. We need you more than ever right now.
You stupid.
I will never eat your pussy.
Whatever. Listen, you gonna need to double date with me and Vanita this weekend. You
Fine.
promised. Aquaman gonna be there.
Ugh.
And he wants to. You gotta make us look good, because he says he's better than you.
Oh, because he can swim.
I am not getting my hair wet.
Hey, sorry. This is great, but you know, okay, I thought about bringing up this before, and I said, I don't want to interrupt, but now I do. So, okay, so what you were referring to, like Aquaman, was like a punchline. Of, hey, why don't you go talk to some fish, Aquaman? We're gonna all go take a. Why didn't Aquaman like go to Batman? And go, what can you do? Can you breathe underwater? Can you talk to fish? No, you've got a car. Go fuck yourself. You
Yeah,
can't breathe underwater. Let's hold our breath underwater. I can do it forever. How about you? You can? Oh, you bought your way into it. Fuck this shit! Fuck this!
But wouldn't Batman be like, what are we, 8? Hold your breath underwater.
Well, you guys are making fun of me and talking to fish. Yes,
My
I can
parents
talk
are
to fish.
dead!
Hey, if I was your parent, I'd kill myself.
Wow! Fucking Aquaman. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, bro.
No, I'm sick of this.
Whoa.
I'm fucking sick of this.
Yeah,
yes,
that's-
I
briny.
can
He's
talk to
briny.
fish,
Yeah.
and none of you motherfuckers can.
I'm
And they
Mario-
all hate you.
I'm Mario Lopez. You got to turn into channel 38. You can see Aquaman. It goes in a really weird direction. Starts off with a lot of weird shit.
I'm gonna grow a beard. I don't give a shit. It'll get in my eyes, but I'll look good when I come out of the water.
Talk to a fish. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna talking to a fish?
Let me tell you
What's
what
Maybe you should listen.
Yeah, I mean,
They have a lot.
Let me tell you what a
to
fish
say.
is. A fish is the SUV of worms.
Fucking shots fired.
It's true.
Look alive,
It's like
fish.
evolutionarily, you've taken no risks. You've just added fucking gas tanks and like you want to be able to see over smaller cars. Big deal.
I mean, I would like to talk to like a seahorse, and just to say like, what's up with that?
Yeah.
Like evolutionarily, like how does that fucking score you
You
points?
saw a question mark and said, "I'll have one of those."
Yeah.
This is the Def Jam comic who's into fucking marine biology. What is it? What's up with this seahorse?
How you gonna call yourself the daddy and you shitting out all them babies? I don't want to have no damn 30 babies, man.
Why? But why?
I'm trying to get drunk.
Why? Jellyfish, I get because they're just a bunch of snot that lives forever. I'll sign up for that job. Like you can't fuck up a jellyfish unless it runs into a boat. Like they live forever.
Yep, they're
Yeah.
immortal.
Yeah.
Are they? They're really.
Why isn't there a jellyfish man? You should get on that. You're doing all this superhero stuff.
I'm not doing anything.
You're doing it. You're doing it.
I'm not.
Put jellyfish man in there.
Story bully.
Yeah.
But you don't call it man of war. You call it woman of war because it's. What about Wonder Woman? Thank you. It was stupid. So somebody in the crowd went stupid, and I'm on your side, sir. I believe that you are absolutely
Did someone
correct.
call Woman of War? But she's not Portuguese. Isn't it Portuguese man of war?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Keep
Whatever.
going.
Yeah, she could become.
But there's like a whole whitewash
Yeah.
scandal. They're like, why didn't they cast a Portuguese person?
Yeah, I go. Why
Like,
is?
well, we had to make it a woman.
Why is Woman of War from Basque Country? It's so close to Lisbon. You could have done a fucking.
Too light skinned to play a Portuguese man of war. They're saying that Will Smith is too light skinned to play.
He is. Oh, go on. I didn't know there was more. I'm
I'm just gonna let that shit sit right there. Next on Harmontown.
What? He's too light skinned to what?
He's too light skinned to play Serena Williams' dad after just having played a blue genie. I don't know what the fuck. You cannot make people happy.
We have talked about the whole, like, what was the Shazam, Alibaba, Sinbad, like, thing that millennials where they think that they're living in a parallel universe because they think they remember a movie, but it seems clear to Gen Xers that what's going on is that they're just racist. Like they're kind of like they conflated like kind of like different like thoughts and constructs and things where they're like, there's a guy named Sinbad, and then there's like this thing. Yeah. Anyways, all right.
Yeah, man,
And that
drop
Berenstein
one.
Bears things, anti-Semites.
Also, not real bears.
No. The Berenstein Bears is crawling with 9/11s. Did anybody ever did we ever activate anybody to look into that Hadgepock Lickwell like Barron Trump
Trump
traveling
thing?
through time?
I don't know. I haven't.
Nobody
What?
cared.
What happened?
Oh, sorry. How do I
was I
catch
gone?
you up? There was Rob found a thing. It was like a YouTube video by a guy.
You're welcome.
Who found a book published in the 1800s. About a kid named Barron Trump who travels through time and becomes the last president or whatever. I'm getting some details wrong, but just a lot.
I'm
of,
sure
like,
somebody on Reddit said that we were wrong.
Is that an actual thing,
not
or is
like
that somebody
Reddit.
like fudging that?
I don't
we
know.
don't know.
There's
I
a
don't know.
book called 1900 or The Last President that is about a little boy who is called Barron Trump, his mentor is named the Don, and he lives on Fifth Avenue in New York, where Trump Tower is. And
This is legit, or this is something?
apparently, yeah. I mean, like
well,
I've been.
we
you know,
don't really know.
How do you know?
We'd have to read the book.
This is what the video is saying. Is the so we were.
Get off my lawn, book.
I think we were hoping that in a world where if I clear my throat wrong, there's 10 paragraphs written about it, that we could maybe use that energy in our favor and like have people, go out and research this thing.
Are
but
they really commenting on you that way? Are they really?
I actually did go through the Reddit because again, I was
No,
looking
no.
for my real audio porn, and I was glad I stumbled through there because it wasn't like lethal. Like, this is an uplifting feeling. Like, you probably shouldn't live your life. You probably shouldn't have shit you refuse to do and places you refuse to go. That's probably no matter what. As much as that feels like self-care at certain points, and maybe temporarily that's a good measure. Like, withdraw from something, build a wall. But
Not the best word.
the word wall. You probably don't want that there forever, because it's like having a cast on your leg. You're gonna.
So what did you discover?
I don't know. I just looked through it and I was like, well, this isn't that bad. What's the worst someone's gonna say? Oh, he's a despicable asshole. Like, well, prove it. So are you.
Right. Also, it's better to read it from a position,
Distance.
a distance. Yeah.
More importantly, a
where
bunch
you
of
are-
nice stuff. I just like a bunch
Yeah.
of nice stuff. Like, clearly
Yeah.
just a bunch of people who are very they're like somebody, like, there was a thread where somebody was like, I hate this Reddit behavior, but or I should just call it online behavior. Someone's like, can someone satisfy a question for me? And it's just like, this isn't going to be a real question. And it's like, they're like, oh, what is it you find entertaining about this podcast? Because doesn't it just seem like it's just a terrible prayer? I just don't understand. I genuinely love. I'm not doing anything that would make me accountable to an opinion, and stating it in an unhealthy way. I'm genuinely just seeking information. Like, please tell me how to enjoy Harmontown. And what was nice was just like a gentle cascade, like of a bunch of people going, sounds like it's not for you. Yeah. And it was like, oh, that's got to be the result of a cultivation of something, even if it's just wearing people down. Just erosion of the human psyche, but it was just softness. It was just like a million people going like, why would you get on the internet, listen to something, and then don't. Sounds like you hate it. Get out of here. Not get out of here. Just but just people, and then laced within there, people going like, yeah, what are you gonna do? A guy talks for 2 hours a week for fucking 80 years. Like, what? Oh boy, what a terrible time that one time was. Who cares? Like, they're
The Facebook group actually mobilizes, raises funds, does things, reaches out to each other. They like treat each other like family. There's less like shit talking. It's actually super interesting to see.
Which medium?
Shout out to
Facebook.
This guy loves Facebook.
I do love a
They
little
should call
Facebook.
you. They should call you Brandon Face
That's not
Johnson.
original.
Book.
You gotta have a hidden. Can
drunk.
you hide the Facebook part in
Drunk.
there?
And your name doesn't lend itself to wordplay at all.
2 weeks ago, you said I'm bad at names, but it is cool to see like that versus the Reddit, because they're the same. It's the same fan base, but they're two totally different kids. Like, those cats are like on Facebook. They're like, we're raising money for, and so and so feels down, so let's lend a little love. Versus some of the criticism that we receive on Reddit.
I had an epiphany because I'm listening to this new podcast. Like, Cody and I call him Asperger Detective. The title of the show is called like Cold Case something. It's the most innocuous title. It's like Cold Case Murder Files or something. It's like the most generic thing. And it's just this guy. His name is Kyle something. And he's like, hey, everybody, it's me, Kyle something, and I'm going to tell you about the John Benet Ramsey case. And this is a very curious case because a lot of people have a lot of opinions about it. But what they don't understand is that it's all about evolution swarming and the redirection of light.
What?
And he's so spectrumy that it goes continually almost to the point of sexy and before plummeting into he's a personality and we're addicted to him and we like him and but like I had kind of an epiphany while Cody was reading his iTunes reviews. Because I was like, people are going to be mean to this guy. Because he sounds like he's sucking on a Jolly Rancher all the time. Like, the microphone is, like, real close to his mouth. And so there's just sort of, like, this... And I
Asperger Detective. Take your Jolly Rancher
and
around.
people were like hitting his like just everything about his inflection because for a while he has this pattern where every sentence has to end like this, and it's all everything. He's explaining everything, and I'm explaining everything, and so everyone's just like, "What are you, a Valley girl? Why does a sentence have to go?" Like people are really, and I was like listening to these things, and I was cringing on his behalf, and then atoning with that cosmic force because I was like, boy, I sure hope that this doesn't affect him. And I think that because what good would that do? Yeah. I mean, outside of like if he was like, oh, I should take the Jolly Rancher out, I think you can hear him start to like try to force himself to like. I think he is like Cody and I were analyzing it, going, I think he is seeing some of this stuff, and it is. Maybe hurting him or not, but in any case, he's like adjusting. And but the most important thing, like, oh God, what like I don't know. It's just like fresh eyes on this concept of like people have like talking about him because he's a product. He's put himself out there. He has 13 listeners. He has 13 patrons. So he's like, you know, he's not worth taken down, but people are drifting through and they're like, they got a lot to say. Some people have a lot to say about how deep and thoughtful he is. Some people really go for the jugular about his very on the cuff flaws. And it was just sort of an educational process for me to go, oh, well, okay, I hear all that. I can laugh at all that. I can observe the same things they're observing, but God, what a tragedy it would be if he let any of this like fuck up his day. I don't know. I guess I don't think I'm able to articulate my point.
No, you nailed it.
It's just sort of like then putting myself back in the position where it's like, oh, wait a minute, you're a fucking dude, like putting this thing out. It's a product, like it's like you're a Build-A-Bear, you're a character, you're a thing. Like people want to be able to talk about you, and none of them would want you to ever be like, oh, well, that's gonna make me change everything about my life, or I'm gonna kill myself now, or I'm gonna stop doing this or start doing that, because they would be like, whoa, what part of me listening didn't you understand? I'm just like, the internet is where you can just type about this stuff. I'm just a couple of ear holes, like sucking your shit in, and I got nothing to say, so I may as well say about this. Like, I didn't want you to fucking have an opinion about the human species because of this stuff. But I can't figure out, at what point you're
It's a weird motivation.
I just don't know, like, because I was like, I don't think anybody wants you in the subreddit, really, like, because as much as they'd be excited that you were there, in the long term, they'd be like, what am I supposed to, like, police myself and talking about, oh, I hate it when he talks about this or when he does that.
A little bit.
Maybe they should, but
a little bit, because we really are doing the best that we can, and
I wouldn't go that far.
we make a product. And sometimes we dip in there to see how the product's getting received, because we want to make sure that you like the shit.
But if people wanted to have to worry about that, they'd go to their own Thanksgiving dinners. Like, oh, Uncle Bob heard you talking about the Packers, and now he's throwing a shit fit in the kitchen. And it's like, that's the thing that people are getting away from when they consume other people, strangers. They just go, and they actually, if anything, they like to I think you pour more into it in terms of like love and hate and like judgment and opinions and stuff. It's like actually a reflection of how hard you're trying to get away from the mess that is your own life. And you're just like, oh, I hate Becky on the home shopping channel when she honks that horn. Like you're engaging in consumption.
If you keep it at that level. When you start to make it personal, though, it's certainly something that you need to question your motivation, because like, when I open my mouth to speak, I'm trying to make people laugh or do something decent, versus like somebody who thinks that they're crafting some incredible shit talk. That's a whole different beast. At which point you're sort of calling yourself out. So there's a point that you made that I agree with, which is like you're trying to run away from your own shitty life by talking shit. And I definitely think people should be allowed to talk shit. But when it gets personal, you got to ask yourself, am I negating that this person has experiences that they've been through that my comments might actually trigger? Like, I don't want to shit on, I'm not necessarily a David Hasselhoff fan, but I'm not going to be like, David Hasselhoff's album, I'm not going to make an account and a fake name just so I can get on a Yahoo chat board and go, David Hasselhoff sucks, and here's the 15 reasons why. Like, at that point, David Hasselhoff maybe needs to call you up and say, you outside? Because I'm outside. At that point, because there is this part where I'm like, if you're so creative with your words, why the fuck would you choose to put me down?
That's like, I travel a lot, and I go on Yelp all the time just to find a place to eat, like find some vegetarian food, or find a bar, or find like a place like that's got this or that, whatever I'm craving, Italian food or whatever. And I go on Yelp places that I know that I like. Like, you know, like I always go to this place in Seattle, and I always go to these two places in Portland, and awesomely they have bad reviews, because that means the assholes ain't going there. Yeah. Like you read the bad reviews, and it was some douchebag that had a bad date, and like he won't be there. But like I know that I can have fun in that place, because like I don't want to see like 7,000 5-star reviews on a place, because that means everybody's there. Sometimes the negativity helps you filter out the detritus. Yeah.
I do think anonymity is like key to our species problem as we move from real to digital. Like that is just absolutely the key, is this concept of anonymity, because I have had my career affected by anonymous people. That is something that we're supposed to reserve for black and white photographs in certain sections of history books. Because that is a brick through a window. You know, like the reason why Facebook kind of heralded the mass migration of our parents to the internet was because what they perceived there was something different from MySpace, which was, oh, so I know who I am, and I know who my uncle is, and if I'm playing Farmville, I can. There's this idea that we could actually just move what we're accustomed to over onto a digital platform, and then it's as if we're in the worst of both worlds, because we're just in this process of spending all of our time online, but we're online is currently a place that the ratio of anonymity to importance is really something that unlike any culture we've ever experienced.
Yeah.
I just think of like Carnival, when we were in Venice and we were learning about the history of this concept of Carnival, where it was like, oh, they did this one thing and they thought it was a one-time thing, and then like the nobles were like, we should do this for a month. Oh, like wear masks and rape people? Yeah. And like all of this culture like started to like overtake the city, where it was like everyone was like, yeah, this is great. We should just all do this all the time. I'm a bird. I'm not John. I'm a bird. And like I do what birds do. And it was just sort of like I remember learning about it and being like, this is what we're experiencing right now, where it's like there's anonymity in some respects, like it can be like a super powerful, liberating thing, but overall, the idea that I think it brings out really, really terrible things. Like
it does, because there's a lack of accountability.
The only thing keeping you a good monkey is the fear of all the monkeys beating you up. They did experiments with bots where they tried to create politeness bots. Where that would detect inflammatory language on Twitter, come into a conversation and say, "Hey, this is much easier to program a bot this way than it is to like a bot that is also easy, which is just like detects Trump's name and just comes in and goes like nothing burger, AIDS." But they tried using bots that would like detect like spikes of like energy, inflammatory conversations, and come in and just be that person in a conflict that says to an aggressor, hey, this other person's a person, even though ironically the bot is not a person. Maybe you should think of them as a person, that kind of stuff. Just like kind of like a lifeguard or something like that, or maybe like one of those like speed trap mannequins in a cop car where it's like they don't have enough cops and they actually do just want people to slow down. They don't want to give tickets, so they just put a mannequin in a cop car. And what they found, I think, is very interesting, which is that it is absolutely the bots work. That you'll get people to backpedal, cool down, all these things, if the bot, in addition to doing that, has a ton of followers. Is an absolute direct proportion between, like, if the bot has 2 followers and comes in and says, like, hey, everybody take it easy, they're just tinder on the fire. It's just like, fuck, another faggot. Hurrah! And if they have 100 followers, if they have 1,000 followers, if they have 10,000 followers, it just gets proportionately, like, it's more likely that this person who doesn't know this person because they're a bot, but they have 10,000 illusory followers, that person is more likely to check themselves before they wreck themselves. And the definition of wrecking yourself is quite simply, like, everybody has one primal fucking chimpanzee fear, which is you're not gonna live on your own. If everybody gangs up on you and decides you're a douchebag, you're gonna be in the forest wandering around trying to figure out, as a monkey as an ape with no tail, like how to avoid spotted leopards when you don't even have your friends yelling at you. You're dead. That's how chimpanzees kill each other. They just send Bob Dole off into the woods. They don't bother to rip their nuts off unless they're young and like trying to start some shit. The old problematic ones, they just go, see ya. And they go, for real, me now? Aw. They go like, because to be a chimpanzee and to live alone is to die. And that is why solitary confinement is, torture and et cetera. So that's the thing. Anonymity, I think that's fucked up. If you have pure anonymity on the internet, you're taking an end run around that shit. And I think it's also actually kind of uplifting because you get in arguments with anonymous people, and they can't help but have an attachment to their ego anyway. Their name is AIDS Spud. I'm here to piss off women 69. Eat your pussy. Fucking fuck you. They couldn't have made a clearer decision that what they're gonna do is they're gonna go and troll on the internet. It's in the way that you use it. I'm cutting my fucking hair weird, and I'm gonna get on there with my bird mask, and I'm gonna fuck up women. And you could have a conversation with one of these characters, and like a lot of times, like they'll be like, yeah, but what about this? And it's like, wait, what? This fucking kid like decided to be absolutely anonymous. They're wearing a scream mask and running around with a butcher knife, and still a lot of them will defend themselves. Which they're like, well, I'm not an asshole. Like, why would you care about that when you did all of this, put all this energy? And the answer is because of that fear that unites us, which is, fuck, I don't want to empirically be found out to be a liability to the species, because it's like fun is fun and games are games and fantasies of lack of accountability are great, but everybody except sociopaths, like they can be counted on to have that kind of fear. And I guess I'm old, but I'm kind of like, can we start implementing this now? Or at least can you please, like, if you're talking to someone who you know, like their birth certificate is their username. Like that's what being famous means. My name isn't Mr. fucking Pickles, dude. I'm not doing a character. I'm like a guy. Like I was born in 1973, and the name and the fucking thing and the barcode and the baby footprint, it's my username on Instagram. My girlfriend too. Like so you're punching down if you have an account that's like, stick a pine tree up your pussy, 102473333 Trump forever, and you're just like, your girlfriend's a gold digger and you're a piece of shit, and it's like okay, you now that you have that power, what are you gonna fucking do with it? You wretched fucking little shit that I was when I was 11. We were like running across each other's yards back then. It was like, oh, if anybody that said get off my lawn, they were like, oh, you're evil. Or my brother.
Get off my lawn, You're evil. Evil. Evil.
What about the, what about a lawn that? What about like a monster house, but the lawn is a
He's a mummy.
The lawn is a mummy.
Mummy lawn.
This guy's a hit maker.
Mummy lawn.
Mummy lawn.
Why did they mummify the lawn? What?
The grass is mummified. The lawn. It's wrapped up in grass.
Oh, so the grass is the wrapping.
Yeah, man. That's all.
So the lawn. So we walk by lawns every day, and we just think, oh, there's some nice
No,
grass.
you do.
But underneath that grass, it's all mummies.
All mummies.
Or at least that one house.
That one house.
What about a Pixar movie called Lawns? And each lawn is like a celebrity, but there's a lawn that wants to be on another lawn.
Is it called The Grass Is Always Greener?
No.
I thought it was called lawns.
It's called Lawns.
It sounds like it's called rape culture. It's because I wish I could be on a lawn. It's not going to work. It's important that I have a place where I can work through these ideas.
Yeah.
Thank God. I mean, if I was at home thinking about this, I wouldn't have any feedback. I'd be like, well, maybe I should pitch this. Might end up on CBS. You might end up forced to watch it. Your children might grow up.
Right now in Sweden, they're writing all these ideas down and building a studio behind it.
What if a tree grew upside down? What if it was like what if it roots? Did you say
a root? Root?
What if the roots were up in the air, and then the tree was going down into the ground?
Right.
Yeah, let's call it roots.
Okay. All right. Moving on. What about mail? What about mail?
Kunta.
Like nobody knows the secret life of mail.
My name Barry.
Like the postmaster drops off the mail, and then so then you have like Cliff Clavin's like the voice of a catalog, and he's like, oh
that's
boy,
good.
I can't wait to get taken up to the dining room table. And then there's like a new character who's like, I'm a citation or something. I don't know. Yeah, you don't really have relationships with your mail. What?
What about a world?
Sorry, what? I didn't mean to.
What
I'm a little sleep
Motherfucker
deprived.
trying to be anonymous.
What about a world where automobiles are wheels, but instead of but they have 4 little cars?
Right, okay, all right. See, this guy, why am I trying to do this? You're the
I know.
master.
This is what I do, guys.
Wait, the car is made of wheels. Wait,
The cars
car's
are
a
wheels,
wheel.
and they have 4 cars.
You call it?
as wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Each wheel is a car.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Do
Now-
they have a relationship with the macro car? Or
Wait, is
no?
it fractal based? Is it like if you zoom in on the? No, it can't be.
No, what? Fractal?
Well, I mean, like
Macro?
if you zoom in on the cars that are the wheels, you're gonna see regular cars, not wheel cars.
No,
that
they have little legs.
Wait, describe the wheel for me on a car. We see a car go by. I zoom in on the front left wheel, and what am I looking at?
There are no wheels on the baby cars. They're
No, I'm talking about like.
Well, don't do that to yourself. I didn't mean to take it to the his original pitch
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
was
confused.
you got a car,
got-
but you know how there's usually there's like a chassis. So picture like a VW Beetle.
Right. Gotcha.
Now just picture a wheel in
Right.
place of that.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then you're like, and then you go, well, what the hell? And then you're like, what are the tires on this thing?
Right.
So there's 4 of them, right?
Yeah.
So each of the 4 tires
Are little-
on that
little cars.
tire car, you look, and then they're little Volkswagens.
Yeah.
Like skates. Like a big tire with skates
Yeah.
on each side.
Yeah.
A total of 4.
Oh, so it's
and
not-
then those have legs.
Well,
I don't think you have to do legs. I did that because you put me in a corner.
yeah, I don't. I think that's the thing. It's like you got to know when to take the drawing away from the kid. You know.
No. Okay, so that's where we start. That's
So
where
the-
we
so the
start.
wi- the
I think
wheel-
if there's
the
a sequel, we could go there.
The wheels don't spin. There's just a car at the bottom of each wheel.
Well, you call it opposite day. So everything, like it's
So a helicopter would be the blade is where we sit, and
Right.
the body would spin.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And then in a parachute would open itself up and a person would come out.
Right.
Right.
And then the tree, this could work with this could be cinematic universe. The tree grows down, the roots grow up,
Oh.
and the wheel goes round and round.
And your plants water you.
Yeah.
Every morning, your plant comes over and pour you
Right.
a little glass of water.
And
Well-
everybody's president.
Everybody.
Except one person that we vote for every 4 years to not be president.
And they get blamed for everything.
Yeah, they're like, all right, everybody, let's do this. All right.
Really? Why are you building that wall and paying for it? They're like, I'm not. They're like, I'm president. You better
Yeah.
do something.
But nobody wants to be. Nobody wants to be the not president because they have to pay all the taxes for everything. They're like, shit, I don't want to be that.
Should we do a scene from that movie?
Opposite Day?
Where Jeff is Benicio del Toro
Okay.
as the curtain.
I'm the curtain.
Yeah. And it's opposite world, so you know how that goes.
Right. Yeah.
wait.
You're strung across the window and there's a big curtain rod hanging in the middle of you.
I will be Jean-Claude Van Damme, of course, as roller skate. That is just opposite roller skate. We can get into that later.
So I'm an opposite curtain.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can make up your own version of it. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, I'm trying to wrap my Benicio del Toro brain around that.
All right.
All right.
Rob will, of course, be. Will Smith, I heard from the audience.
Too light skinned. Too light skinned.
Well, it's that's not. There's no such thing. I think you'll find is the moral of this movie.
Okay.
And
Is that the voice, or am I just opposite day Will Smith?
No, you're Will Smith, and you're a candle. And
Right.
Brandon is played by
Rosie Perez.
I'm just ready
all right.
for anything.
Rosie Perez, and you're a table.
I'm tired of just sitting here.
Yeah. And it's opposite
isn't
world,
fair.
so all of those roles are they're not what you think. And there's the Pixar logo. There's that lamp, like stomping the eye or whatever, if that still happens. And then now we're coming through clouds. And then
Who are you, Dan?
I'm a roller skate.
And you played by.
Michael McDonald.
I forgot.
Jean-Claude
already.
Van Damme.
by
Jean-Claude
Jean-Claude
Van
Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van
Okay.
Damme.
This is going to be terrible.
What a wonderful day to be a roller skate. I like to roll around on my way to home. I am a roller skate wheel that has tiny roller skates for each of 4 wheels. You saw that coming. But it's dealt out piecemeal so that the audience can start to understand this world's not normal. Here I go, going home, can't wait because it's my birthday. I am Jean-Claude Van Damme. No, I'm not Jean-Claude. He wouldn't identify himself that way. I'm roller skate. He proceeds up his stairs to his house.
Ooh, no. He goes down his stairs.
Good point.
Sorry.
To somebody else's house.
Time.
Yeah.
Time to go
day. Everything's
downstairs to someone else's house.
Right.
Lo na. That's the opposite of. That's the opposite of hiya.
God.
Lona.
Lo na.
Right.
Hello, it's me, Rolly.
Hey, Rolly, I'm just sitting at these people eating my lunch.
Oh, opposite table.
Yeah! You like my short shorts?
We. Guess whose birthday it isn't?
What? You don't look a day under.
Ting, 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 ting. Ting, 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 ting.
Oh, don't answer that.
Hey. This is me. It's the curtains.
Oh,
I'm outside the window.
are they?
Somebody open the window so I
Oh.
can be inside.
The curtains are outside the window because they're opposite. Lonya.
Whatever you do, don't let them in.
I'll do that then. Because I'm your best enemy.
Yes, I hate both of you guys.
Oh, we
And,
hate you too.
I mean, and by guys, I mean I hate one of you as a guy and one of you as a woman.
I'm
Because,
closing the window, which makes it open.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, curtain.
I hate you so much.
Oh, I hate you too.
Hey, the phone's just starting to talk for no reason, just without it even being off the handle. It's just talking. Hey, it's me. I'm the candle. I live next door. And I'm burning the wax at both ends here. So I'm just a flame in the middle, and there's like wax on both sides of me.
I'm a. If you notice, I'm a. On the ground, I'm a curtain rod, but I go upwards.
That's great. I'm on the phone. I can't see any of that.
Don't come over because we're not having a funeral.
I want you to be louder because I can almost hear my television. So please be louder.
Don't come over. We would hate to see you.
I will. The phone hangs up and then it rings. I just walked the fuck into the house.
Whoa. Whoa, the candle just that's like an opposite of a candle to just walk in the house.
Well, I didn't wait
Yeah.
till I leave. And then you'll get it.
Hey, you know what? You're the way you're behaving. Like if somebody should kill you, you know, one of these days it's going to be me for you. I'm a curtain.
Oh, me
It'll
for
be
you.
multiple me's for you. Curtains.
Well, I'm here again, as I always am, to pick up my mail that was delivered at your place. I'm going to take these mails and leave. And after I leave, I'm going to knock on the door and go, somebody stop this.
But then we zoom in on the mail, and then now it's the mail spinoff.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Trader Joe's coupon booklet.
Yeah,
What you
what?
How come I'm always tucked inside of you, Trader Joe's coupon booklet?
Hey, let me tell you something.
Do you know who I am? I'm jury ballot letter. I'm the jury guy that tells you to be on the jury.
Hey, I'm Trader Joe's coupon book.
Yeah, I know. I'm stuffed inside of you all the fucking time.
You two should stop fighting.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Listen to me. I am Xena, the Amazon Prime princess.
You guys are making me look so ugly. And all I do is stare at myself. 'Tis I, Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair. I've been jerking off to you ever since we were putting that mail sack.
Me too.
You
I've been
smell-
jerking off to you since Thursday. and it's Friday.
Xena, I only heard stories about you. I didn't think you actually existed.
Yeah, I do.
Hey, did you know that cottage cheese is you get 2 for 1 now at Trader Joe's?
I did not.
Go.
Hey, what gives with this mailbox? Is it going with the rest of the property? Hey, this is just an old mailbox. No one cares about what's been delivered in it. Just rip it out and take it to the landfill tomorrow at 6.
Oh, Xena, this is our home for the next maybe a day or so until the person comes up and brings us into the kitchen table.
Hey, that's too bad old woman Withers had a heart attack, so no one's gonna ever get the mail inside this thing.
You got a stamp on me. That's a song, right? You put a stamp on me.
I don't want to cancel our fraternity.
You had to lick it, then stick it, but now we're gonna be in a landfill.
Mail story on Fox.
Yeah, I like that. I like that Opposite World has a self-contained, non-opposite, shitty male Pixar.
Easy to follow mail.
It's kind of like the young ones where they would go to the refrigerator and talk to the eggs. You know? Remember that?
I do.
The eggs?
All right. We did it. Okay.
We did it. We did 10 minutes of the worst improv of anybody's life.
Pretty bad.
I think that opposite thing was maybe a misguided. Maybe it was the best idea.
It's hard to be an opposite. It's hard to be an opposite curtain. I was like, I had my brain kind of frozen.
Yeah. I was wondering what you were going to do with that.
I mean, I was outside, but then you got to be.
Who was your celebrity?
I was the worst Benicio del Toro of all time. I ended up sounding more like a Strong Bad from Homestar Runner. Oh yes, so I'm going to step outside.
Do we want to
Maybe guard your window from the sunlight.
We shouting out a charity?
I don't have a question.
Okay. Opposite man.
What wasn't your question?
Sorry for interrupting.
No.
No, you're not. You are so not sorry.
Well, it's opposite.
It's opposite world. It means he's not sorry.
Yeah.
What's your question?
Oh, boy.
Unrelated thing. What's your favorite prank that you've ever been given or
What's our favorite prank we've ever? That question.
I don't know if the mic's picked it up, but his friend or maybe not, maybe just a stranger was like.
I was going to say the wheels
sound
fell off
of like.
The wheels fell
Like I
off
can't
that.
even imitate. It's like uncontrollable derision. Like, oh my god, I can't keep the mirth from like. What's the?
He just gave up halfway through it. He was
Yeah.
like, "What's the favorite prank that you?" I don't know. He's
Dan, you've
what's
been a victim of.
What's your favorite prank or least favorite prank that you either have or haven't been either the victim of or have perpetrated on another person or yourself in opposite? Yeah. I really don't know what the question is, but I know my favorite prank show of all time was Alan Funt's Playboy Channel prank show, because it was so humanistic. None of the marks were ever. They were just poor people that had clearly answered an ad that was like, your job is to come in and answer the phones in this like office, and they never. They would come in and they were thinking like, oh, I'm gonna make $5 an hour answering a phone, and then the voice on the other end is Alan Funt, and then like a naked woman would come in or something, just some like really an impossibly thin amount of variation on the idea of like a naked woman coming in and going like, I'm naked, can I say that? And it was just basically like just every man like answering the phone. Alan Funt would call and go, hey, what the fuck is going on in there? I just want... and then the poor person would just be like, I don't know, she's naked. I don't know. She's naked? Yeah. What the fuck? what the fuck's going on over there? And it was just,
He would
and then it was
swear like that?
Yeah, no, he said fuck every other word. I think it was just
Really?
like to make it the Playboy Channel worthy. It was just like, it was a negative, what the fuck is happening? And it was like Alan Funt's voice. And then and then after a while they'd go, hey, you're on naked candid camera. And the person would go, great. And you give them more money than they thought they were going to get.
Yeah.
They were never like...
I wasn't involved in this one, but our friend Drew Carey was on the Drew Carey show. Drew had like wrapped a season, was going to go on a vacation, and he had like an assistant, and like, he had his luggage backstage. And I think it was somebody in the prop department on the Drew Carey show at Warner Brothers took an enormous, like 1.5 foot long rubber dildo and put a bunch of metal screws in it. And then put it in his bag so it would set off the metal detector.
Right.
So when he got in through security, hey, I'm Drew Carey. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. And then they pulled out this giant fucking dildo. And apparently Drew, when he came back, didn't talk to anybody in the set for a month.
Speaking of pranks, though, I guess this fits in the category. We should have Eric Andre on the show. If you guys have watched Eric Andre.
Yeah. The best.
Like I haven't. That was one of those shows like Adam Ruins Everything. I've never watched it. And then Mike McMahon one day at Rick and Morty's writers' room was like, "Have you seen Eric Andre?" So we started binging Eric Andre. It was like, holy shit, like really funny.
Great.
But it'd be interesting to. I've chatted with him and stuff at like up fronts, like know who he is, but hadn't. I think he would be interesting to talk to about the ins and outs of his show.
Absolutely.
I was season 2 of Punk'd, so I have 15 pranks on various celebrities. I'm just gonna say the time we made Usher write a jingle and told him that his brother had stolen women's clothing from a shop in Beverly Hills. And then we had to say to him, like, and this is how we want the jingle to go, Usher.
He thought he was writing a jingle to get his brother out of hock with the place he had shoplifted at.
We told him, and his brother was there, and his brother was like, I stole these clothes for these women that I'm trying to see, and I'm in trouble. And it was like at Kitson or some shit. And we were like, well, you can get out of this if you sing this jingle for the store. And Usher was like, he looked at his brother and he goes, it's not sexy, man. What you doing right now in the store stealing clothes is not sexy. As if they had a discussion prior.
Wow.
Like I had one.
You steal, it's not sexy. You got to be like Usher,
for
sexy.
You're Usher's brother. You're supposed to go out there and be sexy.
Right.
You're supposed to do sexy things.
Right. So, pranks.
Did he write a jingle?
He did not. he was like, I will just take the hit. I'll buy the shit. I'll buy the shit.
I once, my niece Stephanie, when she was like maybe 5, I was, I don't know, 8. She was staying in the guest room in our house. I went and got under her bed like an hour before she went to bed. So I was in there.
Oh no.
This isn't a prank though. See?
And I tilted the mirror like on the wardrobe kind of thing. So
Wait, how old were you?
I was probably
last year.
No.
32.
I would say I was like 9 years old.
Okay, I was actually picturing. Like, the reason I said "oh no" is because I was picturing you like 30.
No.
Okay.
No. Like she's only a couple years younger than I. So like so she might have been 5. I was 7, 6, 8, something like that. And I tilted the mirror on the chest of drawers so I could kind of see up towards the bed, and was in there for an hour, and it was uncomfortable and it's cramped. And I used to fuck with her all the time. And she came in and got to bed, and I waited another hour. And there was enough light through the window, and she had a night light, so I could see that she was there. And I waited until she was like settled in bed, because she was like doing her thing and reading a book or playing with My Little Pony or whatever. And then I waited until she was like just about falling asleep. And I was there for 2 hours. And I went,
Oh.
Oh goddamn.
Oh.
it was, she leapt 15 feet off the bed, turned the lights on, and I got out of the bed. I was like, I'm sorry. It's like, that was more terrorizing than it ought to have been. That's fucked up.
I remember my brother.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, my brother, I remember he wanted to scare my grandma. and he hid down in the basement.
So it's starting off as a good idea.
For a really long time. It's my grandma Bunny. She recently passed away, my mom's mom.
Is this the one that stabbed the dude?
No. That's her mom.
Okay.
That's Grandma Busha. But Grandma Bunny, like, I guess my brother like hid down in the basement because he wanted to scare Grandma. And she came down and she was doing laundry and he was just hiding and he was kind of biding his time, and then she let the biggest fart out. And then he started freaking out, like laughing and crying and stuff. And it was like I thought it was like a delightful story because she was a little scared, but it was like funnier that it's like whatever he was gonna do was more. Yeah. It's like, don't scare an old lady, but like it's nicer that she was like and then he was like, bah! And it's like, yeah, why are you putting all this energy into?
Yeah, the hunter has become the hunted. Cliffhanger. Thank you all. We love you. Thank you for coming down to Dynasty Typewriter. Let's give it up for Brandon Johnson.
Go to sleep. Everybody go to sleep.
Rob Schrab.
The body needs sleep.
Also, I wasn't here. Let's give a big round of applause for our dearly departed friend Brody Stevens. I love him and we miss him dearly. The world is not the same without him. Also, our friend Sam Christensen. We love you. You're still here with us. I'm your comptroller, Jeff Davis. Your mayor, Dan Harmon, everybody.